People may over-worry, over-lie, over-despair, over-study, overwork, over-earn, over-spend, overindulge via sex activities and games, over-injure, over-gamble, over-speed, over-exercise, oversleep, overeat, overdrink, oversmoke, over-vape, over-slim, over-talk, overwrite, overread, overuse TV or phones, overthink, overtravel, and so on and on. The 33 in that list are but a tiny sample. We may overdo via every one of the hundreds of things that we do each day throughout our lives. People who underdo too much are also overdoers. Many forms of doing are helpful and essential. So is the overdoing. It is the overdoing that is the problem. It yields mild to severe misery later or sooner. Every day, everyone may overdo in one or more way. Show me people who say that they never overdo, and I will show you liars. There was much truth in a story about a public house cigarette smoker. He greeted a visitor with, "Like a cigarette?" The response was, "Thanks, but I don't smoke." He offered a drink. The response was, "Thanks, but I don't touch alcohol." Somewhat annoyed, he said, "What about women?" The answer was, "I leave them alone." Finally, the irate man said, "What the hell do you do?" The response was, "I tell lies." After 200 years of trial and error attempts, AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, as we now know it, was finally founded in the United States 90 years ago. It aims to help alcohol overdoers to abstain. On average, the entry fee for a membership of AA is probably greater than for any other organization. That fee is what excessive drinking usually costs people before they seek AA help. There are now more AA groups globally than there are Christian churches. That said, not all AA members persevere. Some slip once or more times. Some slip chronically and endure much misery on that account. Others switch to overindulge and suffer by one or more of the hundreds of other forms of overdoing. Unlike in the times of Christ and even our grandparents, people are now tempted to overdo excessively. Much money for direct discretionary spending is now available. So is much more seductive tempting of young and older to spend it and more. Planet-wide, nature's resources have in recent times been wastefully used on a colossal scale. That is still so. The signs are that insulted nature is responding via unprecedented weather extremes with devastating destruction and fatal potential for humans. The AA approach has two highly significant elements. Individuals could use them to preclude and exclude overdoing of every form. One refers to alcohol as demon drink. That implies that all the hundreds of forms of overdoing are initiated by the evil one, TEO, the TEO for short. Christ referred to him when he said, "Father, I ask you to protect my disciples from the evil one." He repeated that at the end of the Our Father prayer formula, when that 2 millennia later still guides all Christians. That asks each of us to accept the limitation of our willpower. Willpower alone cannot foil the direct and indirect overdue temptations of Theo. Directly we may hear them via mind voices that sneakily tempt us to overdo. Indirectly we hear them via sales pitches that tempt likewise. Acceptance of our willpower limitations sets us up to use the second AA element. It advises us to repeat quietly the 4 let go, let God words when we have nothing better to do. Let go reminds us not to depend totally on willpower. Let God reminds us that God's superior power can defeat Theo. We could specially repeat the 4 words when one or more of the forms tempt us strongly to overdo. We could also specially repeat them when mind turmoil or nightmares strongly deprive us of peaceful nap and night sleeps. That said, repetition only works when the 4 words are said with genuine sincerity. Yet initial faked kinds of sincerity often lead to the genuine kind.